Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I would like to propose to you that it's quite likely that Hugo Chavez, the late president of Venezuela, was actually assassinated by the CIA, giving Hugo Chavez cancer. Now that sounds ludicrous and preposterous, that someone dying of cancer would be an assassination. So it's very difficult to prove, so it's actually a very brilliant way for assassinating someone is by giving them cancer. Like today I was reading about the history of CIA assassinations in Latin America. Like in the early 80s, Roldos of Ecuador was assassinated by his helicopter crashed in a blaze of fire. Not funny, no. And Torrijos of Panama, his plane crashed, and people thought it was assassination by the CIA, because both Roldos of Ecuador and Torrijos of Panama, they were against Washington bullying them, because Washington liked to bully them. U.S.-based multinational corporations had their operations in Ecuador, oil in Ecuador, and the Panama Canal in Panama. And they refused to play the games of Washington, so the CIA had Torrijos of Panama assassinated by a plane crash, and Roldos of Ecuador assassinated by a, helicopter crash. So, back then it's like, well, it's just a helicopter crash. It happens. The plane crashes happen. Not an assassination. But at that point, like today, that became too obvious. Plane crashes and helicopter crashes, because back then it was not obvious, So you couldn't kill Hugo Chavez with a plane crash, because that'd be too obvious CIA assassination. Now, yeah, cancer, because Hugo Chavez, of course, is opposed to Washington. But like a few years ago, there was this Muslim American girl, a young Muslim American girl in Florida. She was a Muslim, but she converted to Christianity because she became an evangelical Christian. She's actually a beautiful person. She was 16 years old, and her family threatened to kill her. I think her family was from South Asia. Oh wow, she's hot. Oh, a lot of hot girls here, by the way. She had pink hair. She was gorgeous. Yeah, so this girl, a few years ago in Florida, family from either like Pakistan or Bangladesh, but because she converted to Christianity, her family threatened to kill her, because that's what happens in Islam. If you convert to another religion, you're Muslim, it's required that you have the death penalty. You have to be killed if you're Muslim, you convert to like Christianity. So this girl in Florida, 16-year-old Muslim American girl, fled her home because she was afraid to be killed, and made national news. And at that point, it's obvious that like the family wanted to kill her, so they couldn't kill her the traditional way. So like a year later, she had cancer. She had she developed a very aggressive form of cancer. Can you see me, by the way? I love you, by the way. And so it was obvious that the family put a curse on her. Very tragic, because curses are real. There are things I'm not experienced with the occult. I've never been in the occult, so I don't know the specifics of putting a curse on people. But I'm an Eastern Orthodox Christian, and I know there's ways to bless people, because there's physical ways to put a blessing on people. In this opposite way, you can hold on a second. You can love you, by the way. Shucks. Armin van Buuren, by the way. So yeah. So because like several years ago when I was an evangelical Christian, because I'm a convert to Eastern Orthodoxy, I was smuggling Bibles into the Middle East, and oops, motherfucker's in the way. Okay, yeah, sorry. So yeah, I was smuggling Bibles in to Egypt, throughout the Middle East, to Iran, to Turkey, to Syria, into Pakistan. And I smuggled one Bible. I mailed a Bible to this guy in Egypt. And he was a Muslim, and he was pissed at me. And he sent me, hi there, I'm vlogging. Love you, by the way. So he sent me a letter back, and I know Arabic, so it was just in Arabic, but he sent me a curse in Arabic, and I didn't think much of it. It was like, oh, this guy's pissed. This him in a Bible, but it was a curse. I didn't think it would affect me, but for the next 6 days, I could not sleep. I could not get an ounce of sleep. And so I didn't think anything of it. I just couldn't sleep. So like I started taking sleeping pills, and it could have killed me because I took lots of sleeping pills, and not even through sleeping pills, I could not get to sleep. I was going insane. I was overdosing on sleeping pills. I could have died. I could have been killed. So I finally figured out it was this curse that the guy put on me. So I prayed and fasted, and people prayed for me, and finally the curse was lifted off of me, and I finally got to sleep. The curses are real. And I know that these secret societies can't put curses on people that they don't like Latin American political leaders. So it's not out of the question that the CIA put a curse on Hugo Chavez to assassinate him. And a great way to assassinate, because people like me is saying, oh, he was assassinated by cancer. I sound like I'm crazy, like it's like insane. But that's an excellent way, because you can put a curse on people, and that's probably what happened. Is the CIA put a curse on Hugo Chavez so that he could get cancer. Hugo Chavez died of cancer. It was assassination. Hugo Chavez was assassinated by the CIA through cancer. So people like me can sound like crazy. Of course that doesn't happen. But I figured out for myself, and I love you, Venezuela. Vive la revolución de Bolívar. Bolívar revolución. Vive. I love you very much.